Chapter 10, Tackling the Falls. The next day, Pete, Penny, and the bagman and Sancho awoke to a beautiful, clear morning. They were all stiff after sleeping on the rocks that night, but they were happy to be alive. It was frightening to see just how close they had come to death. The rocks they were on were so close to the edge of the falls that they could see the beach below. They stared out across the edge of the falls and could see the tropical rainforest extending to the horizon. It was a fantastic view from the high cliffs. The sound from the waterfall was so loud that it made Sancho think how exhausted they must have been to have slept through it all. They had to yell to be heard over the roaring. "It's a strong current, Pete. Are you sure you and Penny and the bagman can maintain your grip through such a force?" "I don't want to lose anyone," Sancho asked worriedly. I'm confident that we can," said Pete. "When we grab hold, we aren't going to let go until the bagman is safe below and we pull Penny back up. Then we can swim over to the bank and climb down through the trees, just like we had planned." "Okay then," said Sancho. "Let's do it." Pete wrapped his tail around a large rock and grabbed hold. Then Pete and Penny hugged each other's necks like they had never hugged before. The bagman wrapped his tail around Penny as tight as he could. "We're ready," roared the bagman with his strong voice, giving them courage. Sancho stood on the rock and he spoke. "You are all great explorers, and I'm proud to have you with me. I'm going to fly over the falls to the beach below so I can watch for you as you come over. Then if anything goes wrong, maybe I can help." So they all watched as Sancho disappeared into the heavy mist of the falls.
"Well, let's go to it. I'll see you two at the beach,"
the bagman shouted. So the bagman started to swim towards the falls.
"Everybody hold on tight,"
he yelled. And as he approached the edge, the bagman could see Sancho below, and his heart sank when he saw how far down it was.
"Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!"
The bagman hooted as he sank out of sight into the waves of white water and mist. Sancho stood on the beach, anxiously awaiting to see the bagman pop up in the pond below the falls. "Where is he? Where is he?" Sancho cried to himself. And then, just then, the bagman's head bobbed to the surface. Sancho flew out as fast as he could, yelling, "Bagman! Bagman, are you all right?"
Well, I scraped my nose on a rock, but other than that, I'm fine. How about Pete and Penny?"
the bagman asked. So they both turned to see Penny's tail dangling halfway up the falls. "It looks like she's going to make it," said Sancho. Sancho looked down to see how the bagman was. And just when he did, the bagman screamed out, "Oh no, it can't be!" Sancho turned to see Penny falling down the falls towards the rocks below. They both were so shocked that they froze there for a moment and thought, "This can't be happening." And then they looked up to see Pete climbing through the trees from the cliffs beside the falls. Suddenly reality hit. Sancho yelled, "Bagman, you and Pete, search the bottom of the pond for Penny. I'll fly overhead searching the banks." And they both took off, terrified at what they might find. As the bagman swam over, he saw Pete spring from the tree into the water. Pete and Penny had been together for years, and the bagman knew if anything happened to Penny, it would simply devastate Pete. They all searched until dark, but there was no sign of her anywhere. Sancho and the bagman met back at the beach, but Pete kept looking hopelessly into the night. Finally, Pete returned to them. His eyes were all red and swollen. He kept saying over and over again, "Oh, it can't be. It just can't be. It just couldn't have happened to Penny. I thought I had a good hold in the water, but it began to slip," she called out to me as she fell into the mist below. "I love you, Pete." Sancho and the bagman were saddened by Pete's helplessness and didn't know what to do. And with tears in his eyes, Sancho thought for a minute, and he stood to say, "This expedition has to come to a stop. I don't want anyone else hurt." "No, no," cried Pete. "We have to continue on for Penny's sake. Maybe the frog can bring Penny back to life." Sancho looked at Pete, and he was saddened by his pain. "If that's the way you want it, Pete, we'll continue. But Pete, don't get your hopes up. I don't even think the frog has that much power." Pete cried all night and into the next morning.